You were never supposed to get rich. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack discipline, but because the system you were handed was engineered to keep you stable, predictable, taxable. That's the trap. You think you're building security. You're actually financing someone else's compounding machine. Governments inflate, banks lend against your future. Corporations design lifestyles you can just barely afford. Meanwhile, wages crawl. Asset prices sprint. You're told to work hard, buy a house, max your pension, upgrade responsibly. Responsible. Interesting word. Because every responsible step locks you deeper into a structure designed for stasis. Today I'm breaking down the 5 mechanisms that quietly keep the middle class in orbit, never crashing, never escaping. Miss this? You won't even realize you're stuck until you're 45, wondering why nothing changed. 1. Debt, the comfortable cage. Meet Daniel, 29, corporate analyst. Stable salary, no drama. He buys a car he can comfortably afford, takes a mortgage with a low fixed rate, keeps a small credit balance because it builds credit. He feels responsible. Fast forward 10 years. His income doubled. His payments didn't disappear, they multiplied. Upgrades, renovations, a better neighborhood, a second car. Daniel isn't drowning. He's tethered. His monthly obligations now dictate every decision. Career risk? Impossible. Start a business? Laughable. Move countries? Not happening. He optimized for stability. The system optimized for his predictability. Here's the mechanism. Debt converts your future labor into present consumption. Banks don't need you bankrupt. They need you reliable. Low interest rates feel like opportunity, but they normalize leverage. And leverage removes flexibility. Behavioral economics calls this status quo bias. Once your lifestyle adjusts, you defend it. You won't downsize. You won't step back. So you grind to protect a structure you barely questioned. The hack? Don't eliminate debt blindly. Eliminate obligatory debt. Debt tied to assets that compound? Different story. Debt tied to depreciating comfort? That's a cage. But debt isn't the deepest trap, because even if you clear it, there's something silently eating what you save. 2. Inflation, the invisible tax. Meet Sarah, 27, disciplined, saves 20% of her income. Proud of it. She keeps cash in a high-yield account. Feels safe. Inflation averages 3 to 5% over long cycles. Some years, much higher. Her savings yield 3%. Inflation runs at 5%. She's losing purchasing power annually. Quietly, 10 years later, her account balance looks larger. But what it buys, smaller. This is called the inflation tax. Governments expand money supply to manage debt and growth. Asset holders benefit first. Wage earners adjust last. It's known as the Cantillon effect. Money flows upward before it trickles sideways. Sarah did everything right. She still fell behind. Why? Because the middle class is encouraged to hold cash stability, while the wealthy hold appreciating assets. Loss aversion keeps her from investing aggressively. Fear of volatility outweighs fear of erosion. But erosion is constant. The system nudges safety. Safety guarantees stagnation. The structural shift? Move excess capital into productive assets. Equity, ownership, cash-flowing systems. Not speculation, not hype. Ownership, because if inflation punishes savers, taxes punish earners even harder. 3. Taxes, the silent extraction machine. Alex, 31, promotion, 6-figure salary, celebrates, then sees the tax bracket shift. His marginal rate jumps. His take-home increase? Underwhelming. He works more, keeps less. Meanwhile, someone earning through capital gains pays a lower effective rate. Why? Because tax systems favor asset-based income over labor income. This isn't conspiracy, it's design. Governments incentivize investment behavior. They tax predictable wages heavily because wages are easy to track. Alex thinks earning more is the path out, but higher income without structural efficiency increases exposure. He optimizes effort. The wealthy optimize tax structure, real estate depreciation, business write-offs, equity compensation timing. The middle class files W-2s and hopes refunds feel good. Refunds. That's your money returning interest-free. The pivot? Shift from pure labor income toward equity participation. Even small percentages. Stock compensation, business ownership, revenue share. If you only earn wages, you'll always sit at the highest extraction point. But even if you fix debt, inflation, and taxes, there's a deeper behavioral trap. 4. Lifestyle inflation, the identity trap. Meet Chloe, 26, marketing executive. First raise, new apartment. Second raise, boutique gym, better wardrobe. Third raise, international vacations. Nothing extreme, just upgrades. She feels progression, but her expenses scale with income. This is hedonic adaptation. Your baseline resets. What felt luxurious becomes normal. 10 years later, Chloe earns triple her starting salary. Her savings rate? Almost identical, because her identity evolved with consumption. Corporations engineer aspiration. Social media amplifies comparison. Relative deprivation kicks in. You don't compare against billionaires. You compare against peers slightly ahead. So you stretch. The system doesn't need you reckless. It needs you slightly upgrading forever. The structural hack? Cap lifestyle growth below income growth. Automate asset accumulation before discretionary spending expands. Not discipline, architecture. If the money never hits your spending account, it never inflates your ego. But here's the darkest mechanism. Even if you avoid lifestyle creep, your time is still capped. 5. Time, the non-renewable asset. Meet Marcus, 30, brilliant, high performer. He trades time for money efficiently. Consulting, overtime, side contracts. He maximizes hourly value, but his income is still tied to hours. There are 24 per day. The wealthy detach income from time. They own systems, assets that generate whether they show up or not. Marcus believes he can outwork the ceiling. He can't, because linear effort cannot beat exponential compounding. This is the physics problem no one explains. Labor scales linearly. Assets compound geometrically. 10 years later, Marcus is tired. The asset owner is optional. The pivot? Build ownership layers alongside income. Equity stakes, revenue sharing roles, intellectual property, scalable digital systems. Small at first, but compounding doesn't need size. It needs time. And time is the one thing the middle class trades most aggressively. Here's the lens. Debt creates predictability. Inflation erodes savings. Taxes extract labor. Lifestyle inflation normalizes stagnation. Time caps effort. Individually, manageable. Together, a perfectly engineered equilibrium. You're not crushed. You're contained. And containment feels safe. That's why it works. The middle class trap isn't about failure. It's about maintenance. If you don't shift toward ownership, leverage, and structural efficiency now, you won't collapse. You'll coast. And coasting for 20 years is the most expensive decision you'll ever make. You can print money. You can refinance debt. You can negotiate salary. You cannot print more of your 20s. Comment escaped if you're done playing maintenance mode. And watch the next breakdown on how ownership quietly separates the wealthy from everyone else. Because once you see the architecture, you can't unsee it.